Yo, what's good with it? YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, man. Hope all is well. And today, man, we have on the roster Outlaws member Young Mobile, man, dead at 47. Now, I might be a little late, but if you haven't heard, he passed due to a suicidal accident, which that's what's been told in the media. And if y'all don't know, Young Mobile, he was one of the artists along with Napoleon of the Outlaws. If y'all don't know the Outlaws, they was a group formed by Tupac before he passed away in the early 90s or mid 90s, something like that. And so in this video clip, man, this is a clip of him freestyling before, like a little before he passed or whatever. And it was a fire freestyle, bro. And after that, we have a clip with Napoleon, which is his brother and labor mate. He speaks out about a couple of things as well, man. So look, we're gonna get into this video. Appreciate y'all for clicking on the video. Let's go.
Check me out. Yeah, dirt poor growing up. I never had my own room. My mama cooking that work up. She burnt up all the spoons, graduated from the block. I ain't never finished school, no it wasn't cool, that's why I choose. Give up jewels, all the lessons that I learned. Play the game by the rules, never hustle where you live. Never argue with a fool. If you depend on them to feed you, you gave them power to starve you. All I did was show love and they hated me something awful. Be careful, cut my circle down to a handful. Smiling in your face and their heart, can't stand you, two-faced it. My heart got broke, two places, feeling like Nipsey, tipsy. Bumping blue laces, wanna bait me with old beef and see me with new cases. Shit ain't been the same since they killed my nigga in Vegas. Motivated by the pain, motivated by the haters. I'm still spitting that shit. 25 years later, never signed to a major. Stayed independent. These ain't just raps, little nigga. I really lived it, calm, don't be alarmed. I'm a time bomb ticking, young living legend. Pen game vicious, outlaw records. Don't think for a second I won't put this mic down and pick up. It's Mac 11, the spirit of Machiavelli, psych, fatal, and felony. It's outlaw shit, I'm precisely the epitome. Carried the torch high, did it all in a memory. You gotta say a word, feel it in your energy. Hate me or you love me, don't matter long as you mention me. Streets real slippery, watch where you walking. There's no more talking, all bite, no barking. Everybody love you once you laying in a coffin. When you alive and shining, you most likely a target. Leave your ass leaking like a faucet, you cross me. All family, no friends, the game costly. Paid the price of sweet revenge, how much it cost me. Success tastes sweeter, bag full of cheaper. Carhartt suit, 10 boots and a beeper. This 9mm can make me the Grim Reaper. You ain't even cracked the code, it get deeper. You don't know how much crack I sold as a youngin'. Never known for rapping, I was known for hustling. Never known for ratting, I was known for thugging. All these niggas do is blog, they ain't known for nothing but running they dick suckers, gossiping like broads. It's all fun and games till somebody in the morgue. It was all your fault. Don't poke a lion, awake or sleep a giant. Get greeted with the iron. We gon' leave him where we find him. Sometime you gotta remind him. This outlaw shit is forever, we timeless. Yeah, sometime you gotta remind him. This outlaw shit is forever, we timeless. Yeah.
The rumor about y'all smoking Tupac ashes, is there any truth to that or no?
Yeah, we talking truth, man. I'm gonna tell you what happened. It was the day of Pac's memorial in Malibu, California. Private ceremony, close friends, family, mom, everybody. We get back to the crib. We in his room, you know. He's gone. He just died. We're actually in his bedroom. We're smoking, we're drinking, and we're just trying to numb the pain. We're sitting there and we're listening to Black Jesus, the song. It's unreleased. Nobody heard none of these songs yet. And we listening to it. It's our brother that just passed away. We hearing him different now. You know what I mean? In the verse, he says, we died clutching glasses, filled with liquor and blasted. Cremated last wishes, smoke my ashes. So mind you, we in there just minding our business. We hear him say that. And everybody kind of like looked at each other. We hear him Pac saying, cremated last wishes, nigga, smoke my ashes. We heard what he said, man, you know? And his ashes was downstairs. Like, well, what we gonna do, you know? So Gaddafi, he winds up going downstairs, you know? All Pac, his family, they all down there. He sneaked some ashes in a napkin, man, and he bring them upstairs. He did it. He the only one who left out the room to go came back with it. I had the blunt. We sprinkled a little bit on there. I sprinkled a little bit on there, and I rolled it up, and we passed that motherfucker around. For us, it was the highest honor we could give our brother in that moment. Me and Edie was talking, and he said Pac had a friend that was an Indian. His family, I guess they was having a ritual this night where they was like celebrating one of their deceased loved ones. Whatever they had in the peace pipe, they put some of the ashes of family member in the ashes, and they was passing it around. And Edie told me the story later, like, Pac always thought like that was the coolest shit ever, that he saw a family like hitting the ashes, where it's like it was an honor thing for them. It was like, you're going to live on through us. You're going to be in our system. You're going to be in our heart. You're going to be in our spirit. You know, this ain't something that we just thought that we just want to do. Like, you know, it was like we did it. And I wouldn't, ain't nothing to be ashamed about. For us, man, it was like the highest honor we could give him in that moment. He in our spirit, man.
I seen recently, with some, with Young Noble, who I look at as a family member. And, one thing I just want to mention, I don't lie in interviews. I don't chase clout. I don't do things for likes and views. So for you to do an interview, and the only reason I'm addressing this publicly because you mentioned these things publicly, so I figure I have a right to, respond publicly in a respectful manner, of course. So when you mention these things to try to make it seem like I'm lying in my interviews by saying that the story with Jim Belushi and the hamburger, you know what I'm talking about, was something I just pretty much ain't know what I was talking about. You're going to tell the true story. Then you say the same exact words as I said when you explained the story. Even everybody in the comments was confused and said, why did you say Moo was wrong or wasn't correct? And you explained the same story. I said, that's nothing. Alhamdulillah, I can't really, dwell on that. That wasn't nothing. I didn't take offense to that. And then again, even though it doesn't matter, it happened over 20-something years ago, but alhamdulillah, I'm glad that it did happen because I didn't want to be on the stage with Diddy. Then you, once again, made it seem like I didn't snatch the mic from him, which I said, this is ignorant stuff. It happened 20-something years ago before I was a Muslim. But it's one of the moments that I can say I'm proud of, that I didn't stay on the stage and perform next to a person that it might seem like he had something to do with the death of a good friend of mine, which is Pac, and I didn't stay on the stage with Diddy. So you pretty much said, like, it's not like he snatched the mic from him. His song was finishing. As if I grabbed the mic once again. But then you said we got kicked out of the MTV. If I didn't snatch the mic from him, then why did we get kicked out of the MTV? I sabotaged it purposely because I didn't want to be on the stage with an individual that my friend passed away having some difficulties with. I figured like loyalty is something that we have to take to our graves. Like I said, alhamdulillah to the kids, to make it clear, these things are ignorant, but the only reason I'm really replying back is because you coming off as if I'm lying in my interviews. And I have receipts, alhamdulillah. Steve LaBelle got a video up where he said the reason why the MTV was shut down that day because Napoleon snatched the mic from Diddy, because I didn't want to be on the stage with an individual who my friend at that time was beefing, who didn't like. I just feel like loyalty, no matter fame, no matter money, should make you not stick to a friend even though he passed away. Your loyalty is very important, and that's the reason why I did that. So, and then again, I see comments where you once again saying, oh, these are his stories, Muta stories. He left the group in 2003, as if these stories are not true. I don't have reason to lie. Alhamdulillah, yes, I left the group 2003 after I accepted the religion of Islam. Alhamdulillah, one of the best decisions I ever made. But I just want to address it in a respectful manner. I don't even, we just spoke a couple days ago. We just talked before that a couple months ago. So that's why it's really taking me by surprise, because we're in contact with each other. So if you've had these things in your heart, or I said something wrong that you didn't like, I just don't know why when we was on the phone with each other, you didn't tell me these things. I have to hear it from an interview. But once again, alhamdulillah, that's the past.
We was going to show up and do this in honor Pac, Mind you, earlier, Puffy, he was walking around. He wanted to talk to us, but we didn't want to talk to him. He wound up talking to Big Syke, though. So Big Syke from Thug Life was with us. And him and Puffy probably was around each other in the early days when Pac was around them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And, so Puffy walked up to Big Syke, and they stepped to the side, and they had a conversation. But, you know, we ain't had nothing to say. We didn't want to talk to that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And so he was doing his part, and then Puffy was almost done with the song, and Moo walked up and, you know, kind of like grabbed the mic, like, you know, the song was over. It was our time to go. You know, he ain't walk up like, you give me the fucking mic, but, you know, he walked up like, you know, Puff kind of took offense to that, like, you know, hold on, Playboy. Next thing you know, all these fucking ninjas jumped on stage and shit, and security, all these motherfuckers and shit. We're like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? And yeah, so little melee. They wind up, we wind up getting escorted out, trying to see if we're gonna be able to come back later to perform, but we ended up not being able to perform that night, you know.